Okay, so this is just going to be a really quick video on how I used my Cricut Explore Air 2 to create backing cards for my enamel pins. And the first thing I did is open my program, and you would want to upload your image, create an image that's going to go on the back of the card. I already have mine, so I'm putting it on here. And I'm just going to shrink it down and move it out of the way while I create the shape for the back of the card. And you see that I'll go to shapes, and you'll pick the square because there's not a rectangle. And you want to unlock the sizes up there at the top. That's actually, I forgot to do it, and I kept wondering why it wasn't doing right. So you want to unlock that little lock in the middle, and you want to change the size. And for the 2x3 cards, I actually did slightly smaller. I did 2.75 by 1.9, so that way it would fit in the silho bag. So I just turned mine horizontally. I don't know why. You don't really have to do that. And I'm changing the background to white, and then I'm gonna shrink this image down, and I'm gonna turn it horizontally. And first of all, you need to move it to the front. So I moved it forward, and then I just kind of play around with it till I've got it fitting on the card. And the next thing I did was just kind of highlight everything and flatten the image. And what I found is that 8 of these 2x3 cards will fit on one piece of cardstock. So I'm just creating 8 cards, and you don't need to line them up because the Cricut's actually going to do that for you automatically. So I'm just creating 8 of these, duplicating them 8 times, and I'm going to hit make it, and we are going to print it out. And you can see there it fits pretty well. I actually tried to get 10 on there, but that didn't really work. So anyway, I'm picking my Cricut from the machines available, and I am going to load up the mat after we've printed. We just want to load the mat the way that we see it on the design suite there. You want to make sure that it's loaded the same way. So I'm going to load that up, and then I'm going to make sure that my settings on my Cricut are on cardstock. This is the sweet spot. You don't need to go in and customize or anything. It cuts them perfect. They're nice and smooth and pretty. So I'm load up my machine and let it cut these out. And then once the machine has completed the cut, you can take the cards off the mat. You just want to be really careful because these, I don't like to bend up the edges of mine. So just pull that off there and pull them off one at a time, and you can see you got a nice little card backing. And the next thing I'm going to do is I have an owl, which is AWL, and it is for punching holes. So I'm just gonna, I kind of laid it out on the grid here to try and find sort of the middle, and I did that to start with the first card, just to make sure that it was where I wanted it and it looks good. And once I'm satisfied with that, I'll kind of do a little stack of cards at a time and just punch holes in them and then load the cards up. So that is pretty much all there is to it. And then you just have to put them in the silho bags, which is kind of a pain in the butt because the bags want to tear, and they're really delicate. So anyway, I do like the way it looked. Everything turned out great. I love the look of it, and I'm really glad that I made the backing cards myself, because it just looks more, I don't know, handmade, authentic. I also created the font using Calligrapher, and I'll post a link to that also in the description box below. And the materials for this project you can find, and links to those also in my description box below. Just be sure to check that out. There's also going to be a link to my Etsy shop where you can purchase a Ghost Daisy pen if you want to do so. So I appreciate you all watching. Thanks. Peace, y'all. Bye bye.